Immigrants who want to live in the U.S. are forced to wait as long as a decade just to get a green card. But a government program called EB-5 allows wealthy immigrants to jump to the front of the line if they can fork over $500,000. The program has been hit with allegations of fraud and abuse, and now some in Congress say it needs to go. Newly minted American citizens celebrated last month at this naturalization ceremony in Pittsburgh. For some, it was a long journey.
I came to the States in 1992, so it's a quarter of a century, so it's a pretty special day.
For John Zhuang, owner of a Chinese restaurant in Squirrel Hill, the wait for a green card was much shorter. His family got him into the EB-5 program and paid $500,000. Within 2 years, he had a green card, and that was considered a long wait for someone using EB-5. There's some people who say that you shouldn't be able to buy your citizenship for $500,000 or $1 million. What do you say to that?
It's not like you're buying the citizenship. You need to create jobs.
He's right. The program does require that investors create 10 jobs for each $500,000 payment. EB-5 money has been used to finance Bakery Square in Pittsburgh, home of Google. Also, UPMC East Hospital in Monroeville, and even these movies filmed in Pittsburgh. Also, this shopping center in South Fayette that got $500,000 from the family of a Chinese college student in Arizona. An estimated 200 jobs were created. The financing was brokered by the Idea Foundry in Oakland, which runs an EB-5 center. Does this program send the message that citizenship is for sale?
Short answer, that's exactly what the program looks like. The reality is, it's not just about the money. It's about the creation of the jobs. That's the essential component.
But this 2013 report by the Homeland Security Inspector General found U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services was unable to demonstrate the benefits of foreign investment into the U.S. economy from EB-5. And the government's method for calculating jobs and economic benefit was not valid, according to this 2015 Government Accounting Office report. David North of the Center for Immigration Studies in Washington, D.C. is an EB-5 critic.
You're supposed to create 10 jobs for $500,000. Well, $500,000 in this town doesn't even buy you a house.
While the program was supposed to benefit impoverished areas, North says most of the money has gone to glitzy real estate developments in big cities, including this high-rise in New Jersey overlooking Midtown Manhattan, whose owners include President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. It got $50 million from Chinese immigrants in the EB-5 program.
There are some very rich people, very powerful people, particularly in the city of New York, who are making oodles on this program.
The program has also been hit with fraud allegations. Last year, the SEC accused the owners of this Vermont ski resort development of misusing $200 million raised through the EB-5 program. And there have been multiple other cases.
There's enormous opportunities for corruption of one kind or another, or crookedness.
Zhuang, the Squirrel Hill restaurant owner, says he was also a fraud victim. He says a Pittsburgh broker convinced him to put down $100,000 toward $1 million investment to build a hotel at an indoor water park in Ohio. What was he promising you in exchange for your investment?
A green card and some return.
But in this lawsuit, Zhuang says the broker, Paul Lang of Fortune Group Realty, made false and misleading statements about the project and then refused to refund Zhuang's money when the project was abandoned. The lawsuit was settled last year. Lang and his attorney did not return multiple calls from Action News Investigates. Zhuang eventually got his green card through another EB-5 investment.
You're getting hungry.
Like most immigrants, Ashwin and Andrea Pereira could not afford to spend $500,000 on green cards. So right after getting married, they had to split, spending 2 years on opposite sides of the world, Ashwin in Pittsburgh and Andrea in India.
We literally went through the first 2 years of marriage on Skype. It was just terrible. It was emotionally draining.
He does not think it's fair for the government to give preferential treatment to immigrants just because they have money.
Because green card is a green card, and it should not be that somebody who has the money is allowed to jump the line.
A spokesperson for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement tells me they have strengthened the EB-5 program in the wake of the fraud and abuse allegations. Still, legislation filed last month by Republican Senator Charles Grassley and Democrat Dianne Feinstein would eliminate the controversial program. Paul Van Osdol, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.